So, hello and welcome. Today I'm speaking about tolerance. Why am I speaking about tolerance? Because I am actually finding out lately of the huge, enormous, massive amount of intolerance that I'm seeing online, of course, in mainstream media, and of course, it's spreading all around the world, and it's something that I think is becoming more than just a nuisance. It's almost like a manifestation of a blocked energy that's been sitting there for a while, and now it's just being unleashed. So, what exactly is tolerance? I think we need to have a look to see what it is when we say tolerance. So, I'm taking this quote from Robert Greene, Ingersoll, that says tolerance is giving to every other human being every right that you claim for yourself. And I'm going to repeat this. Thank you, Robert Greene, Ingersoll. Tolerance is giving to every other human being every right that you claim for yourself. So what do you claim for yourself? If you claim that for yourself, that means you must extend it to others as well. So when I was studying in New York City to get my degree as a movement therapist and a movement analyst, we were taught to observe and look at and analyze people's posture. And from the posture, there's so much you could tell. For example, some movement analysts actually work for the CIA or the FBI, were told, because they could, from a posture, really begin to tell certain character traits of certain people and be able to psychologically evaluate them according to their posture, their movement patterns. And I found that to be very fascinating. And I started looking at animals, specifically cats. Cats, I love their movement patterns. I also look a lot at baby elephants and their movement patterns. The playfulness, the utter playfulness of baby elephants, and even more so than kittens and puppies and other smaller human beings and other species. And it was quite astounding to me, their movement patterns. So free, so flowing, so much tolerance, so much innocence. So I started thinking about how our movement and our movement patterns specifically lock in our belief systems, and how easy it is to tell from a person's movement their own belief systems, because it's encapsulated in the body, whether we realize it or not, which is why I've already recommended this book once, The Body Reveals. It's something which I'm again recommending to you all. There's the author's name. And I strongly suggest that you read this, not for other people, but for yourself. What does your body reveal about you? What belief systems are locked in that you have not claimed as your own? Because when we do not claim things as our own, like our own characteristics, our own personality traits, our own behavior patterns, we then use it, the very things we do not claim in us, to beat up on other people and to be intolerant with others. Isn't that interesting, though? I think it is. So, based on that, I'm going to put up again another quote, and this one's by Mahatma Gandhi. Intolerance is itself a form of violence and an obstacle to the growth of a true democratic spirit. I would change it a little bit to say, intolerance is itself a form of violence and an obstacle to our growth as loving human beings. Think about that for a moment. If we're intolerant of anything or anyone, or the way somebody eats, the way somebody drinks, the way somebody speaks, the volume of somebody's voice, if we're intolerant of that, there's got to be intolerance within ourselves for something within ourselves, otherwise we would not be manifesting it outward. So in order to heal this, because there's always healing, what I love about being alive is we can always heal it. So I'm going to put up by John and Anne. This book, The Awakened Heart, and these are meditations on finding harmony in a changing world, because as we can see, the world is always changing. Right now, it is changing in volumes and at a pace that most of us are not happy with, or some people are pretty alarmed about. So if we want to change this, we need to become more tolerant with each other instead of being intolerant of all the things that other people are doing and demanding and mandating that we do not like. What if in the midst of all this fear and lashing out and edicts and mandates, we simply become love? We go into our heart chakra, we melt into our heart, and we offer love to the people who are carrying out all of these repressions and these incredible intolerant behavior of which we do not approve and which we might find harmful. What if we just enter deeper into a state of love? I think all we need is a critical mass of people doing this to correct all of this, and this whole thing will turn around. That's what we need, is a critical mass of people who embrace all the parts of themselves for which they're intolerant, and we embrace instead an opening of the heart energy. We go physically into our hearts on a regular and daily basis, and we begin to let go of all the things that we know we carry around, which is a form of intolerance, and come out of it a more loving being, a more accepting, more tolerant being. Because intolerance is in itself, I agree, a form of violence, and it's an obstacle to our own growth. So why am I saying this? Again, Mahatma Gandhi, because your beliefs become your thoughts. So if you're intolerant of somebody else, they become your thoughts. Your thoughts become your words. Your words become your actions. And your actions become your habits. And your habits then become your values. And unfortunately, your values then become your destiny. This is why I think it's so important to look at the parts of ourselves that are intolerant towards ourselves first, because if we're intolerant with others, we are first intolerant with ourselves. So we need to excavate all the parts of ourselves deep, deep down that we have buried, where we're intolerant with ourselves, bring it forth, heal it, and then move on to healing others, because when we heal ourselves, we heal everyone else. And everyone responds to healing. Everyone, without realizing it, responds to healing. So, please join me in my quest for healing, please. Please join me in my quest for lovingness. Please join me in my quest for tolerance, but most of all, for yourself. Give this to yourself. Apply this to yourself first, and you will find the universe opening up in the most magnificent ways, cascading down a bounty of love and tolerance for yourself in your own life. So, thank you for joining me again today. I trust that you will open your heart a little wider, a little deeper, and spend more time learning how to be tolerant to your own self, so we can then have this reverberate outwards to other people, other lives, and then to the whole planet. Thank you for watching today, and I look forward to more with you. I am very interested in knowing more about what you're doing, who you are, and what you do. So please go to my website. I have a lot more on there. Do click on the subscribe button and then the native notification button to learn more. And most importantly, please comment and let me know what it is that you think I ought to be doing and the rest of us ought to be doing to be more tolerant. Thank you, everyone. Be bold, be mindful,